Ooh, yeah, gotta get that fit on. Gotta play some games. Gotta be fit to play?
Right! I'm feeling skinny, Tony! So am I!
What's going on, guys? I was asked a question, and much like the response to my recent Pac-Man case video, Fit2PlayGames threw out an interesting, question. I'll say it again, question. He wanted to know...
So the question is, what one game do you want to see be remade and why?
Which games, older games, since they're remaking a lot of games nowadays, he wanted to know which game do we personally think should be remade. So I thought about it for a while, and a lot of times when this question gets brought up, because sometimes it's been brought up in the past, I always jump to, I was a PlayStation 1 RPG junkie when I was a kid, after I played Final Fantasy VII for the first time, then Breath of Fire and stuff like that. And originally, Breath of Fire 3 or 4 was going to be my response, because I love the Brood, I love the putting dragon genes together to transform, and the story in Breath of Fire 3 is amazing, and 4 is pretty good too, but I can't remember too much of 4 off the top of my head, but I remember 3 was amazing, because I replayed it about 10 years back, so it's kind of not really fresh in my mind, but there was one RPG that I really loved as a kid, that I would love to see remade. Now, they had one on the PS2, but I don't think it didn't do very good. So I would have to choose Legend of Legaia. And I hope I say that right, because I've heard people say Legaia, or whatever. But I always called it Legaia, especially as a kid. Now, what really caught my attention as a kid. And there really hasn't, as off the top of my head, been many RPGs that I could compare, especially the battle system to and stuff like that. Now, just a backdrop on the story a little bit. I'll try and have a little bit of a video or a trailer of it going at some point, maybe some cutscenes. But the game was about, basically, humans had figured out this way to enhance themselves by using something that I would almost consider like a parasite or something. They're called Serus, S-E-R-U. And basically, they just enhance them. You can use them to fly, you can use them for other stuff like that. Well, these people decided to they found a way out that you can enhance these things. So they created something called the Mist. Now, the Mist originally it empowered the Serus, made them more powerful. But, of course, what always happens and stuff like this. So they activated it, they shot the mist out, everybody with Serus had a negative reaction and started turning into monsters. And, yeah, basically, it goes on that you start off in a little town, you activate a Genus tree or something like that, and it activates and gives you a raw Seru, which is resistant to the mist. So then you gotta join up with a few people, and your whole goal is to go around and activate all these trees, because once activated, they will push back the mist. And yeah, the mist can't get in there anymore. Great RPG, and the other thing that's really cool about it is the battle system. Now, originally you start off with a small bar like this, and you have 4 different options, I want to say. It was 2 different punches and 2 kinds of kicks. Now, over time, your bar gets a little bit bigger, but depending on the combination that you pick, will activate certain combos. Like I remember there's a PK combo and stuff like that, and as you get farther along and you activate more of those trees, you get more special combos that you can actually use your raw Seru with. I'm probably slaughtering the crap out of this thing, because like I said, as a kid, I didn't know how much, whatever, that's still what I thought in my head. Every time too, certain enemies that you killed, it was kind of like enemy skill in the Final Fantasy, stuff like that. Certain enemies that you would kill, you could kind of absorb into your raw Seru, and then later on you can use them as summons and stuff, whether it be healing, attacking, support, and stuff like that. It was a really great, I don't know, it's actually a very underrated RPG. It's actually getting some people nowadays are seeing it for how awesome it was and stuff like that. But growing up, you know, not very many people knew about it. A lot of people just knew about Final Fantasy VII, and the rest of the RPG nuts, you know, knew about Suikoden and stuff like that. But this RPG was amazing. It's actually when I kind of half-assed modded my PlayStation 1 Classic. That was one of the first games I put on it. And I plan one of these days to go back and play it. I remember it's a very long game and stuff like that, but you guys need to look into this game. If you can pick it up, pick it up. I know that I'm trying to get a physical copy, but I haven't found the right price. And I have been talking about selling stuff to hopefully make some money so I can afford the games like that I really want. So, Fit2PlayGames, if I could have one game remade, remake, whatever you want to call it, I would choose Legend of Legaia, or Gaia, Legend of Gaia, or Legaia, I don't know. And I really hope that if they would do it, they would mainly do kind of what they did with like Final Fantasy VIII and then when they did the remake. They kind of upped the graphics a little bit, or actually a decent amount, but they kept the game pretty much the same. They didn't mess with very much of it. They made it so you didn't have to battle, or they made it, I think, so you could speed up time and stuff. But if they had to do it, I wish they would do it like that. Up the graphics, make the sprites look better when you're running, make the combat look. The combat actually, the battle scenes in the combat were pretty good. It was almost like Final Fantasy VII, where on the map and running around it looked like crap. But once you got into the battles, it actually looked pretty cool. So check it out, guys. I'll have video of it popping up here and there. And stuff like that, but it's very good RPGs. If you love RPGs, it is one especially, it is one of the best, I would say, in the PlayStation 1 era. So, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you check out Fit2PlayGames. He is very fit to play. Ooh, yeah. Stay retro, my friends, and game on!